Hi again, Randy Pifer with Active Insurance Solutions. Today my topic is going to be some of the pros and cons of the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act. I'm just going to try to be general in nature as I know that each of these provisions in the program could be debated separately. All of them are going to have pros and cons to some people depending upon who you are. First one that I want to touch on is the fact that the hope here is that we'll be able to provide coverage up to 95% of United States citizens. A lot of the people that are going to be covered here in the near future are going to be put on under the Subsidy Act. And how this is going to work is there will be a sliding scale for people to be covered from 133% of the federal poverty level up to 400% of the federal poverty level. So there will be certainly an expansion there for coverage. Secondly, one of the biggest deals starting in 2014 is no limitations for pre-existing conditions. In other words, you won't be able to be turned down for coverage, and if you do have a condition that exists right now, the carrier will have to provide coverage for it. And this is a definite pro, particularly if you've been someone who has been previously turned down for coverage that you were more than willing to pay for. Another item will be increased expansion for prescription drugs for seniors. The donut hole will be closing. That will certainly release some of the cost burden for those who are on fixed incomes. Another thing that I'm very happy about, particularly here in the state of Colorado, is we're in the process right now of setting up our health insurance exchange for both individual policyholders as well as small groups. In my opinion, I would much rather have my own state taking care of it than relying on the federal government to set up an exchange for me. Some of the negatives or cons under the program, there is some help coming to bring in more primary care physicians, but it's certainly not going to be enough. There are a number of primary care doctors leaving practice right now just on a daily basis. And a lot of the students that are coming into the medical field right now would much rather study in the specialty business. Frankly, they're going to make more money. But I need you to know that in the future there are definitely going to be longer waits in order to see primary care physicians. Another con of the bill, the individual mandate. What this means is we want to try to get everybody into the pool. In theory, this is really an act that can be very beneficial because as it stands right now, typically 80% of the insured population pays for 20% of the people who have a lot of the care that's driving up the cost. In 2014, if you decide that you don't want to be covered under the individual mandate and buy a plan, you will be subject to a penalty. That starts in the beginning at $95 per adult or 1% of your taxable income. That percentage in income is going to rise over the years. In 2016, it'll be up to 2.5% of your taxable income or a penalty of $695 per adult. Another con of the bill, of course, is going to be more taxes. Medical device manufacturers, they're going to be subject to an excise tax on all their products of 2.3%. Higher income individuals will have an additional tax of 0.9% penalty. That'll be an increase in your Medicare tax. And also, there will be an additional tax of 3.8% on investment income. Another con for employer groups, particularly those who have 50 or more employees, you're going to have to either pay a penalty or play by providing coverage to your employees. The penalty that you could be subject to will be $2,000 per covered employee. However, you will have an exclusion for the first 30 employees. And sadly enough, some employers are just going to elect to really not provide any coverage at all and turn individuals who may be currently insured to purchase their own plans through individual exchanges either by state or by the federal government. Certainly there are a number of additional provisions that are pro and con, but we just can't debate them all in one short video. Future topics that I do want to cover though is I do want to start to break down some of the provisions and look at them in a little more depth. And certainly, please, if you have any suggestions whatsoever, I would appreciate if you could leave those in the comment section below this video. Till next time, good health, that's the plan.